better morally inclined? Why is it an examinable subject? Why is my morality based on how well I can memorize 36 nilai? I would like to suggest that if you would really like to cut down and reduce the number of subjects for SPM, moral knowledge is a very good candidate for reaction. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Andrew.
Oh, but that's going to come soon.
So, yeah, we'll start with the 3 questions first.
Andrew, you have to come and speak to me. This is part of the reform that I'm talking about, curricular reform and examination of subjects for UPSR especially is being looked at. And moral is one subject that we are seriously looking at. So you hit it right on the dot. Well done. But I'm not letting you off that easily. Since you are my own cikgu dulu, you don't agree with what you have taught in the schools. Now you come and tell me what should be taught in the schools for that in substitution to that. So I see Andrew wanting to come on board. You're not going anywhere in the near future, are you? Yes, perception, Tan. That's the trouble. The normalists have this perception that it is too Islamic, and the Muslims believe that it is too secular. Our schools, our national schools, and I realized that as I came in 4 long years ago. And if you study my speech very closely, we are trying to perfect that imbalance. As far as the Islamic focus, when we talk about Jacob, those are the basic principles. This was articulated by the PM himself when he was the Minister of Education, which means going back to basics. Actually being able to read and write Jawi, Khatam al-Quran by year 6, able to understand what they are reading in the Quran by having basic Arabic mastery of the language, and Fardu'ain. That has been very successful, to be honest. My son himself knows a lot more than the father when it comes to these basic values. The only issue is that sometimes, again, we have to get the right teachers with the right understanding, and understand that these kids are very young, very influential. When you instill these values, it is important that these values really sink in, and that cuts across race, cuts across religion. And that has a strong link up with what Andrew said earlier about pendidikan moral. On the non-Malays side, who they feel that it is too Islamic, again, I mentioned that we have introduced Mandarin classes, and you'll be interested to know that more than 50% that have taken up these classes happens to be Malays. So again, we're seeing a change in the shift as the younger generation gets more educated. The youth do not carry with them the baggage of the past, and understanding that Mandarin is an important language to know in the context of the rise of China right now. It becomes a necessity. The trick and the difficulty and the challenge is how do we get that out from the usual political and the polemic of race and religion when it comes to education. Nadia on national unity, tough one, because I acknowledge the different streams of schools. How do we make sure that the different streams of schools actually do interact? We'll have to wait and see. That is something that is very close to my heart. It is something that we have to work together towards. It is something that requires not only the commitment from the ministry and from our teachers, but also parental skills. How you grow up to bring up your families. What are the sort of values that you are going to teach your children? How you guys can interact today in this day one. This is very, very refreshing. Congratulations to all of you that are here today. But stay this way when you leave the hall as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Sri, for addressing the 3 questions. Let's proceed with the next few questions. Can we start with the lady on the right, please?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Sri. My name is Tasnim binti Abdul Hadi. I am majoring in public relations at University of Technology Mara, inshallah. Dr. Sri, in 2006 there was a conference in Cape Town, and then we the youths were given the impression that our suggestions in the communique would be taken into consideration and would be integrated into the national education system to make the education system in Malaysia better. So Dr. Sri, aside from the 3,000 access centers, mainly for people in rural areas, what other aspects of the communique has your ministry taken and integrated into the national education blueprint? Thank you.
Thank you, Tasnim. Can you have the next one?
Hello, my name is Vishan Kumar. I am currently doing my A-levels in KYUEM under Yayasan Khazanah. Dr. Sri, my question for you is rather related to the teaching of English, science and maths in English. Back to the question raised by one of my friends earlier. My question is really simple. Why did you do it? Because I was one of the guinea pig. I was one part of the guinea pig batch. I studied science and maths in English until I was in standard 6, and in Form 1 I had to make a 360-degree change, completely different to English. So my question is, it's not a very popular political decision. It's not very popular with the majority of the population. My question is, I'm sure that the government did not act on impulse. Why did they do it?
Is it popular with you? Did you agree with it?
Yes, now I do. But I want to know why did you do it 6 years back?
You have to speak to what his name is now. If one agrees, one doesn't agree. That's the problem I face. Thank you. I'll answer that.
Right, can we have next question?
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all, Dr. Sri. Okay, I would just like to ask, okay, it has been long. Oh, sorry. I'm Dingan, I'm taking ACCA in Islamic College. Okay, I'd just like to ask an old topic, maybe a stale one. There have been speculations, allegations, everything stating that our education system is too exam orientated. They say that we focus only on theory, spoon feeding, and not on critical thinking. I'm not saying spoon feeding is bad. It is good to a certain extent. To a certain extent, I believe that we need to have 2 things together, combined into one, and so that we can produce successful model insan. That's what I say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree. It's too exam oriented. And like I said, if you find that everybody has straight A's, it defeats the purpose. But again, we have to train our teachers, and that's what we are trying to do now in this 5-year blueprint. And the fact that I realized that we cannot have a change in policy without the usual backup. Just give you one example about our approach on reducing the rural-urban divide. You think that things will be resolved by giving computers to our children in Barrio, for example. It doesn't work that way. You have a computer, you need a computer lab. Computer lab, you need electricity. You have computers, you have electricity, still no good unless you have teachers. Teachers will not go unless they have teachers' quarters. Teachers' quarters without furniture, again, doesn't make the teachers to be